Hey guys, welcome back. I'm John. This is my son Aspen, and we're standing next to our latest project. This we're calling Oxide or ferrous oxide, maybe Oxidus Prime. That name comes from the oxidated look you see all over it. It's actually a 47 CJ2A. There's a Potomac gray paint job from the factory underneath all these layers of what's actually not really rust. It's green, red, maybe some other colors in there too. So we're gonna talk a little bit about our plans for the build and what we envision this thing being. So our inspiration for this build really comes from Brennan Metcalf's Rango. His is a military version, ours is civilian, and we're gonna do a few things differently. We might have a cool trick up our sleeve here if Aspen decides that he wants to go a little different direction with the build.
The truck bed?
Ooh, giving things away too quickly here. We took a trailer along with us when we went to go look at this thing, and I planned on bringing it home, but Aspen, what did you think of it when we first saw it?
It was crusty.
Crusty and...
Dusty.
full of potential?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't really have a floor. You know, things like the windshield frame are pretty busted, but sheet metal wise, it's like 70% solid. It's more solid than some other things I've dragged home recently. We're really not gonna be keeping much of what's underneath here. We did pull a really cool old engine out of this that was not original to the Jeep. It's actually significantly older. Aspen, what happened when we tried to apply heat to the transmission with the torch?
A giant mouse nest caught on fire and actually helped us get the engine out.
This is one situation where a mouse nest is actually helping us. I was trying to put some heat on the input shaft here, and there's some sort of mouse nest below there, and it looks like we're looking into the coal box of a locomotive at the moment. I'm just gonna let that burn. It's not hurting. The clutch was seized to the input shaft of the transmission, and the mouse nest catching on fire helped apply heat for a longer time than the torch did, and actually assisted in getting things separated. So pulling the engine out was actually a really cool process. We knew it was a military engine, had a stamp on it, GPW 3908, and that's all we really knew when we first started pulling it out. As I was talking to some people online, doing some archaeology, literally like uncovering numbers from caked on inches of grease, we found a rebuild tag from 1945. It shows the cylinders are bored to 30 over, the mains are 20 over, and the rods are 10 over. This looks like a military identification tag, I think. RD Virginia. And September 1945 it was rebuilt. We found that it was not a Ford block, but would have been in an MB, one of the first military Jeeps produced for World War II. And then once we took the oil pan off and cleaned off the stamping on that for when it was machined, we found out that it was actually machined October 29th, 1941, which was quite a surprise.
I Googled when they first started making them, and it was in June 1941.
June 1941. So only a couple months later, this engine was produced, and that makes it a really early engine and pretty valuable. It's not something that we need for this build, so we've actually already sold it, and that just goes into more build budget.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about some of the things that we knew for sure we wanted to do with this. Like, we knew we wanted to keep it pretty simple.
Yeah. Manual transmission.
Manual transmission. Leaf springs, front and rear. No like coilovers and any of that kind of stuff, not at this point at least. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I mean, we'll see how it evolves. We were thinking 35s at first. Really, you know, this is going to be the thing that Aspen learns how to drive on, how to rock crawl, and all kinds of off-roading. So It needs to be pretty durable, but pretty simple. So we've got an SM465 transmission for it. We are gonna keep the Dana 18 transfer case, but a SM465 has a 6.55 to 1 first gear, which is like 1.5 times deeper than, more than 1.5 times deeper than the first gear in my XJ. The Dana 18 is only 2 to 1, but if we put like 456 or 488 gears in the axles, the 35s or even 37s, I think it's gonna move pretty slow. And we can always gear the Dana 18 lower. We're gonna go with a GM engine, keep that under wraps for right now because we don't 100% know, we don't have the engine yet.
Yeah.
But we can make the 18 to the 465 with an adapter, and it'll be a pretty short drive line altogether. We're probably gonna build a full custom frame, though I just picked up an early CJ5 that has a very stout and good condition frame underneath it. So we'll evaluate whether that's worth putting this onto, or if we just go full box tube custom frame. That's kind of it for now. So we're gonna keep going with progress on this. It's gonna be slow for the winter. We've got some other things going on. Wanted to get the engine out of it first, so that's kind of where we're at, and then figure out what things we can post on Marketplace from this, and kind of beef up our build budget and keep things rolling that way. That's it for this time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so that you get updates on build progress with Oxide, and we'll keep them coming as often as we can. Catch you next time.